Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Wishing you all a very happy Independence Day. Welcome to Mudda once again. Mudda is basically a social issue platform wherein we aim at voicing your concerns and indulging in fruitful discussions. Mudda provides you a stage to raise your concerns in a very segregated manner based on administrative blocks of the nation. Through Mudda, we also aid to reach the concerned authorities with your problems. Also, since Mudda is an Indian application, it is an attempt, a contribution to Atmanirbhar Bharat. To become a part of Mudda, you can simply download Mudda app from Play Store and register using your mobile phone number. Amidst the 75th Independence Day celebration and the historic achievement of India in Tokyo Olympics, I'm glad to announce that today we'll be discussing about the future of sports in India with Mr. Vivek Atray. He'll be joining us shortly.
इंट्रोड्यूसिंग मुद्दा ऐप, इंडियाज सोशल इशू ऐप। अपनी खुद की कम्युनिटी बनाएं, आसानी से अपने ग्रुप का पता लगाएं जो आपके क्षेत्र के नाम पर है और अपने मुद्दों, समस्याओं आदि को ग्रुप में डालना शुरू करें। अपने इलाके के अन्य उपयोगकर्ताओं के साथ जुड़ें। समय पर नियमित अपडेट। हम उपयोगकर्ताओं के अनुभव के महत्व को जानते हैं और हम इसके बारे में भी परवाह करते हैं। भविष्य के वर्षन में हर बार कुछ बेहतर मिलेगा। जैसे कि आप विकसित करते हैं, हम बढ़ते हैं। बड़े पैमाने पर आउटरीच। हमारे ऐप में 10 लाख से अधिक ग्रुप हैं और आप आसानी से अपनी समस्याओं को कहीं भी साझा कर सकते हैं। ट्रेंडिंग पोस्ट, सर्च हेल्प।
And here, the epitome of versatility has joined us. Welcome to Mudda, Vivek, sir. It's an honor to have you here with us today. Hope you are doing good.
Thank you very much. Very happy to be here.
Also, sir, happy Independence Day to you.
Happy Independence Day to you as well.
Thank you, sir. Now, let's just have a quick glimpse of his dynamic personality. Vivek Atray ji is a motivational speaker, mentor, author, and not to forget, an ex-IAS officer. He is the author of best-selling books, Finding Success Within, Move On Bunny, and The Beji Bounces Back. Motivating and guiding Indian youth through his TED Talks and Josh Talks and various other platforms, he inspires us daily to adopt a cheerful, positive, and multidimensional approach to life. As Director IT, he was the man behind Chandigarh IT Park. He was also Director Tourism, Director Technical Education and Renewable Energy, Chandigarh, Director Industry, Haryana, and Managing Director at Heartron. An engineer by his education, Vivek ji was also an under-19 cricketer who had played the national level C.K. Naidu Award twice. Vivek ji, within the light of Independence Day and the historic performance of India in Tokyo Olympics, we are quite curious to discuss with you the future prospects of sports in India.
I'm also happy to do that. Happy Independence Day to you. And yes, let's start discussing that. My overall views are that sports needs a revolution now in India. And everybody, all families need to participate. I'll explain later how. I think it's high time that sports become the top priority for India.
Indeed, sir. Vivek, sir, you yourself are a cricketer, and cricket is having a different fan base among Indians. However, if we observe the Gen Z and Gen Alpha, then we have observed that there has been a shift. People are interested in cricket, in football, cricket, and tennis, and in fact, our interests have diversified like anything. However, it's very disheartening that still the sports associations in India majorly promote cricket. So, how do you see this?
So I'll balance this. You see, cricket has been popular because of various reasons. Number one, We started playing cricket at the international level far before even independence. There were teams from India going abroad. Hockey and cricket were the two games that India used to play. Now, cricket did not change its rules as much as hockey did. So, hockey became difficult for India to play after the AstroTurf came because the game became very fast. And instead of the skills that were required, now the speed, stamina, and strength were required, which Indians did not have compared to Europeans, Germans, uh, Netherlands people, the Dutch, then Australians, then even the British, the others. So it was very important for India to be stronger and fitter. That means the players and sports persons. But it's very difficult for Indians to be like that. Various reasons, the climate, the diet, the kind of facilities you have for fitness were not available. Today, we see that cricketers as well as hockey players of India are as fit as any from anywhere in the world. So, the diving catches that cricketers take, the diving stops that hockey players make, or even the passes, or even the goals, they are as amazing as any country. So, I think cricket is popular because it is a game which is not requiring too much of investment, also a bat and a ball, and they will make the wicket on the wall, and there will be 20 people playing with one bat and one ball. Whereas hockey, everybody needs a hockey, and you cannot play without that. So all 11 or 22 players need hockeys. So perhaps that was one of the reasons. Football could also have been popular because only one football is needed between 22 players, but somehow maybe the space wasn't there or the kind of support wasn't there. So I think in a nutshell, the promotion of cricket is not conflicting with the promotion of other sports. Cricket should continue to be our game, and we are doing very well in cricket. We are number one in the world in various parameters. Sometimes we are number two. But we have now three teams which can play for India in any at any time. That means we are three times as good as we were earlier. Whereas other sports have a lot to do to catch up. We'll go into details in later in the conversation. Lots can be done to make us excellent in hockey, soccer, volleyball, team sports, as well as individual sports like tennis and badminton, despite the popularity of cricket. It is not that cricket is taking away anything, it is that we need to add more to these sports.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. Uh, Moving ahead, sir, when we talked about resources and the availability and the need, we have also seen that in many schools and colleges today, around 62% of those, they are not having proper ground or not even coaches. And that is one of the major reasons that we are celebrating Tokyo Olympics achievement, because we have got 7 medals despite this thing. So, and however, so there is this one more thing that around 600 crore rupees have been given for sports development by the government of India. And still we are seeing this lag. According to you, what could be the reason for this?
You see, 600 crores of rupees seems to be a lot, but if you look at it, one bridge which is constructed in any part of India may be costing about a major bridge may, let's say, I'm not an expert, but maybe it costs about 2,000 crores, let's say, a major highway bridge. Now, 600 crores for the whole country is not enough. We need more funding in sports. We need more stadiums. We need more coaches. We need more equipment, better equipment. So we need a lot of work to be done in sports, because sports also gives employment. Sports gives enjoyment. Sports also gives physical fitness and health. It also gives a balanced mindset to the youth. There are several advantages of sports. People keep away from alcohol and drugs if they are playing outdoors. They are tired at night, they sleep on time. They don't stay awake. Youngsters don't stay awake with the mobile. So, all these reasons are there to promote sports in a bigger way. More money should be allocated by the government, as well as we should have more corporate social responsibility funding, CSR funding from the companies. Healthcare and education have to be our top priorities, but within education, we should also prioritize the sports part of education. Sports is a part of our education system also. But what happens? One games period per week, and 40 boys or girls, and one ball, one football, one volleyball, whatever it is. Nobody gets to play properly. And then they go back to their studies for the rest of the week. So our games periods need to increase, our coaching needs to be better, the inspiration needs to be there, the budget needs to be more. And if we do all that right from the beginning, and above all, the parents need to be guided that they need to make their children sports persons if the physically fit boy or girl wants to become a sports person. And there are also alternative sports nowadays. There are, wheelchair sports. There are other kinds of sports which are absolutely, possible for anybody to play. And it's very, very good if we participate in any level in these sports.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's exactly how our schooling goes. And now with new education policy, we are hoping to that sports will be an important part of our education.
Absolutely.
But so there's this one more thing. When we speak of coaches, uh, in India, we are definitely having good players who are probably underrated. And still, when it comes to coaches, the coaches for different games, they are basically from foreign. They are, if it's an international contest, the coach that comes from Dutch, Germany, or somewhere else. Why do we not have this Indian person who is leading, who is the coach? Do you
Yeah,
have
so
anything to say?
yeah, Shreya, it's a very good question, but let me explain. I've also been a sportsman, and I'm involved with some administration also of sports. We also have a foundation called Playwright Foundation, which organizes sports interactions, sports donations, sports management of players. We do all that. So I understand this a little bit more. You see, what happens, we also have to have the training and the coaching of the coaches. I may be a great player, but am I going to be a great coach just because I was a great player? Not possible. Because I have to understand the methodologies of coaching, the latest techniques, how to get the best out of my players. So a coach could be a player who was okay in his time, not great, but he knows how to bring the best out of the team. And that is a great example for many, many coaches who have done well. You can take anybody. You can take John Buchanan of Australia. Even Ravi Shastri was a good player, coach of India in cricket. But he was not the world class player that we had like Gavaskar or Tendulkar or Dravid or Sehwag. So we can say that coaching is different. Secondly, cricket has organized coaching clinics. They have level 1, level 2, level 3 coaching programs. They have exams to pass. They have a structure. So the coaches of India are able to handle cricket. We don't really need foreign coaches. In hockey or football or volleyball in India, the coaches will be able to do very well until the child or the player reaches a certain level. After that, at the national level, state level, international level, we need expertise, which is beyond that coaching level of the Indian coaches at times. Maybe some Indian coaches are superior and well qualified, but the foreign coaches have played or coached other sides. You take the example of hockey. When Graham Reed and Nijon, who was the girls' coach, Reed was the men's coach in hockey. They both brought out the best out of these teams, whereas for 41 years, the men had not reached the semi-finals of the Olympics or won a medal. We won the bronze medal. So I think foreign coaches should be used until Indian coaches are ready at the international level. And in some games, perhaps we don't need to use foreign coaches, but in other games, we need to use them, and no harm, because they will also improve the coaching standards of the others. So I think it is a mix and match that we have to do. Maybe a day will come when we don't need any foreign coach at all. Could be 10 years from now, 15 years from now. That'll be great. But right now we need them.
Yes, sir. We just hope that comes soon when we don't need a foreigner to help us.
Yes.
So recently in the Olympics, most of the medals that we have won is in the individual segment, including javelin throw, the golden boy Neeraj Chopra. So, sir, do you believe that singles games or these athletic games, they are the future of India?
Winning a medal in athletics is like winning an Oscar award. It is so big for us. You see, individual sports are more difficult for India because individuals are in India are not equipped. They don't have the facilities. You see, Abhinav Bindra won the gold medal in shooting. When
Yes.
he won the gold medal, his father had invested a lot of time, money, and effort with Abhinav while he was growing up and shooting. His father took care of him. He was his mentor in many ways. And Abhinav could reach that level because of his own excellence, his own hard work. But Neeraj Chopra, many people helped him. But he was receptive to that help. He worked hard. I've read a statement by him today, which is very beautiful. He says to all youngsters who are younger than him, he says he's also a youngster himself. He says, don't take shortcuts. So I like this kind of approach. I think India can do very well in athletics in coming years if we focus on fitness, strength, stamina, technique, skills. All these things are needed in Olympic sports. Then team sports are also important because in India we have a large population. In a ground, if only one person is playing tennis instead of 11 or 22 players playing football, it's not optimum utilization of the sports because two people can play tennis or four can play tennis. More than that can't play at the same time. But 22 people can play for football, hockey, or cricket at the same time. So we have to see that team games are also promoted. And I think India is very good in individual games like badminton. PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal have won medals for India. Tennis also, Leander Paes won a medal. Wrestling, of course. Boxing too. And shooting, yes. Shooting we need to do better in the Olympics. We have done well in Asia and Commonwealth, but that is not really what we want. We want the Olympic gold medals. So I think in coming years, we need to focus on all the games. India is a big enough country. Even if one state takes up one sport, just like Odisha has done so much for hockey. One state, one sport. Then you watch how well we do, and then you can have the army, you can have the paramilitary, you can have the companies, you can have the various other departments and corporations picking up sports. I think we can do it.
Yes, sir. That's something which I got a new glimpse and a new dimension of thinking over here. Thank you very much for that. And yes, that this balance is really required. Uh, so as we talked about hockey a few like minutes or moments ago, you told about the coaches and the performances. So here we also saw that in this entire Olympics, we saw people who performed really well, though they didn't win a medal, but they are also the unsung heroes of the career. Like if we talk about Aditi Ashok for golf and women's team, of course, and then we also talk about Kamalpreet Kaur. So there were many unsung heroes of Olympics for India. But answer the government has lauded them in a lot of ways. For example, Vanna Kataria has been declared the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao brand ambassador for Uttarakhand by the state sports minister. And similarly, many other Olympians have been conferred with a lot of rewards and applauds. So, how do you see this? Do you appraise this, or do you see that there should be more done for them?
I think it's the right decision. I think more needs to be done. I have written an article which has been published today, and it's a very good coincidence that we are talking about the same topic. You are talking about sports and how India can do better in sports. I have written on the same subject, and I will try to share it with you. You can share it with the viewers later. The point here is that all these champions, medalists, those who have done well, even fourth place finishes, like Aditi Ashok, like the Indian women's hockey team, like earlier PT Usha and Milkha Singh ji. I mean, they were fourth place finishers, but they inspired generations. The Indian women's hockey team will definitely inspire a wave of hockey players from India, women, and the men's hockey team will inspire the men, obviously. So I think more needs to be done. So we need to make them ambassadors. We need to get them involved in various things. We need to get them out there into the villages, the towns, the schools, the colleges. And I think for 1 year after this, many of the medalists need to have a complete program of visiting the young people of India. And Neeraj Chopra should be taken to every district of India if possible, although it may not be easy. Maybe at least 5 locations in every state he can go and he can talk to the youth over there. It really excites people. And the Indian hockey team, there are 18 of them. They can also go here and there. And I think it is important for them to come to the forefront because anyway, the youth doesn't have too many role models. Who is the role model of the youth? So an actor might be the role model, which is not bad. It's okay. A musician might be a role model. A scientist might be a role model. A cricketer might be a role model. An athlete might be a role model. Definitely, politicians are not role models, it seems. And bureaucrats, some IAS officers, civil services officers can also be role models. So let's see how it goes. And we need to do more of this.
Thank you very much, sir. And I and obviously our viewers are very much eager to read that article now that you have mentioned it.
Thanks,
And
Ed.
we just hope that we soon get a better avenues for the Olympians and for the sports winners or for the sports heroes. So, if talking about Naveen Chopra particularly, we saw that Pakistani javelin thrower Arshad Nadeem, he got fifth position and he tweeted, "Congratulations to my idol Neeraj Chopra for throwing the winning throw." And in his interview in the Times of India, Neeraj Chopra again said to that person, Arshad Nadeem, that you get Asian throwers very rarely at that position. And it was for the first time that India and Pakistan, they were both in the finals in javelin throw. And this was remarkable. And he also said, let's work hard together so that we can work better and we can both be there on the podium next time. And this is something which we very often see in sports. The relation between the Pakistani players and Indian players is really very beautiful. However, it's just the opposite in case of politics. So, do you see this as sportsmanship, or has it been inculcated in them through sports?
I think so. Shreya, this is a very good question. Because, Shreya, you see, sports is not only about khel kood. It is not only a game. Sports is also a way of life and way of thinking. So it's a very important question that you have asked me. You see, what happens that a sportsman or a sportswoman will have a different perspective and personality. And a boy or girl who is into sports from the childhood will know how to win and know how to lose. Because you win in table tennis, sometimes you lose the next day. In cricket, you make a century and then you get out on zero. In hockey, you may score a goal one day and then for 1 year you couldn't score a goal. So it is like that. So there are setbacks, there are ups, there are downs. And life is also like that. So when you are a sportsman or a sports girl, you will be able to understand life better. Secondly, sportsmen are also more large-hearted. They are large-hearted. That means that they are able to accept others' performances better. You see a politician who wins the election, he doesn't pat the second person on the back and say that, oh, well done, well done. Or the third or the fourth or the fifth. Will he go and congratulate them for their performance? No. Now, Neeraj Chopra, gold medalist, is bucking up the fifth place finisher because he's from Asia, because that person also considers Neeraj Chopra to be his idol. I think it's a fantastic thing. There's a word in French and we use it in English also. It's called bonhomie and camaraderie. These are two words which indicate friendship and togetherness. So I think sports brings a lot of bonhomie and camaraderie. I think we really need to encourage this sort of thing. You remember when Indian cricket team went to Pakistan after many, many years, we built that foundation for a relationship and it improved. And the hockey team also can do the same. We must play more hockey matches with Pakistan. We must play more cricket matches with Pakistan. And hopefully we'll beat them because we are higher ranked in both of them. But the thing is that we should be able to definitely build bridges with sports. So I think that better human beings emerge from sports. I'm not saying that those who don't play sports are not good human beings, but I wish they would play sports. They will be better. That's my feeling.
Yes, definitely, sir. Thank you very much. And so there's this slight thing that made me quite curious. Recently, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, it has been renamed after the wizard of hockey, Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. On the contrary, we saw that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium has been renamed as Narendra Modi Stadium. So, how do you see this thing?
See, there is a saying by Shakespeare, what's in a name, right? It doesn't really matter. These are all political things. So one political party renames, even Connaught Place, you renames from something else. Then you rename a city from Madras to Chennai. It's political. Even renaming of awards is political. Even renaming of stadiums is political. So my personal feeling is that doesn't really matter. It should be the sports and the sportsmen and the sportswomen who are given the priority. Arjuna Award, if it was named anything else, it would still carry the same weight. Oscar Awards by any other name, tomorrow they run out of funds and they have a sponsor, Pepsi, and they say Pepsi Oscar Awards. The award doesn't dilute. So it is important for us to understand that naming, renaming is just not about sports or other things, it is something else. We need to ensure that our sports is better, our performance is better, our sportsmen and women are encouraged, our conditions are better, our society is more inclined towards sports. All these things will matter.
Thank you very much, sir. That's really very inspiring, and it's already flushing the viewers and me with a lot of this sportsman spirit and all. Like it's just that your aura probably. And so over here, Jaskirat Singh, he says, we have seen Olympians selling on tailors for daily wage and food. This is something which is really very intriguing that we have reservations and sports quota where whenever we apply for a job or school or university. But this time, the Olympians who have come out, they are basically from ground level. We have seen this discrepancy or we have seen this lag. So, how do you view this thing?
I think it's a fantastic thing that they come from various parts of India. It is not a good thing that they have to sell things on thelas after that. That is terrible. I think the answer is we need to encourage sports in all districts of India, all villages of India. Tomorrow you will see more captains like Dhoni coming out for cricket. You will see more boys like Hardik who scored a goal, beautiful goal in it was the best goal of the tournament. I think he scored in the field goal. Hardik of India in men's hockey in Olympics of Tokyo. I think we need to encourage boys from villages and girls from villages to play sports, to come forward. And secondly, we need to look after our former sports persons better. So cricket pays a pension to all the sports people. Now, can't we pay pension to all our Olympians? Of course we must. How can they be allowed to sell things on telas? What kind of country are we? So we need to think that any Olympian is now a national asset. Olympic medalist, definitely. Even anybody who has played for India in the Olympics, participated in the Olympics, is a national, international player. Came last in the Olympic, doesn't matter. He represented India in the Olympics, he's an Olympian. So we need to look after them. And we need to make sure कि उनका morale कभी low ना हो, and उनकी families, उनके लोग उनको support करते रहें. And we should never forget them. Never forget. It's not very easy. It's not difficult to remember the names of 1,000 sports people in India. I mean, the government can easily have a database of 1,000, even 10,000, even 1 lakh sports people of India. They can look after them.
Yes, sir. That's something that is really important. Supporting sports. At the end of the day, that is what is the take-home message, I guess. We must
Yes.
support
Support
sports
sports, absolutely.
considerably.
In fact, in some languages वो sports को support ही बोलते हैं, तो अच्छा लगता है वो.
Yes, sir. That's already very optimistic. Thank you very much, sir. This entire session was quite interactive and quite enlightening and quite inspiring, especially when it's coming from a sports person and an all-rounder like you. And so, before we end this meeting, what would be the take-home message that you would like to give all of our viewers today?
I was hoping you'll ask me that, and I'm very happy to give a take-home message. And as a former IAS officer, former cricketer, now I'm a motivational speaker. I have a large following on YouTube, Instagram. You can all connect with me. I keep posting about sports, about motivation, leadership, etc. So I'm very happy to be on this platform of Mudda as well, because they are doing a great job of connecting with the youth. I think some great questions have also come from the audience. So my take home from this is three things. Number one, India needs to prioritize sports. Sports needs to be one of our top 10 priorities. We need to be discussing it. We can't be discussing only politics, crime, and customs and weddings and other things and uska kya hua, gossip and all that. It needs to be in our conversation. Not only cricket, all sports need to be. Secondly, we need to encourage boys and girls to be physically fit, play outdoor sports, get off their mobiles for 1 hour and go and play outdoor. You will be physically fit, mentally fit, spiritually fit. Very, very important. Thirdly, I think the government, companies, society, schools, colleges all need to come together in order to create that platform for sports to develop. And we should not prepare only for Paris 2024. And it's not only the Olympics we need to prepare for. We have to prepare for so many tournaments and international events. We should prepare for Los Angeles 2028, where the Olympics are going to be held. They're going to be held in Brisbane in 2032. It has all been decided. So we should prepare for those Olympics by catching somebody who's only 8 years old today, 9 years old today, 10 years old today, to go and play for India after 12 years and bring medals. That's how the Chinese, Russians, and Americans do it. And although the Chinese methods may be a little too stark, but I think we need to balance that and do our best. So my takeaway is that anybody who is not enjoying sports in life, your life will improve. If you follow sports, if you watch sports, if you play sports, even if you are 60 years old, you can start playing some football or badminton, provided you can remain physically fit, and you will be fitter. So enjoy sports and life becomes better.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a very inspiring take home message again. And it also resonates with the concept that today our Honorable Prime Minister said in his speech that this is the time that we redefine the parameters on which we have to develop and the aspects that we have to develop. So thank you very much, sir. We are greatly indebted for your valuable time that you have given us. And indeed, the comment section is already flooded with a lot of comments. And thank you very much,
Stay in
sir. And
touch,
thank you everybody who joined.
Most welcome, and stay in touch, all of you. Shreya, you conducted a very good interview. Thank you and congratulations for doing that. And all of you who asked questions, you can ask me more questions on my Instagram channel. I'm always available. You can ping me, or LinkedIn, anywhere you connect. And let's stay connected. Thanks a lot and all the best.
Thank you, sir. We hope to have more such conversations. Thank you, everybody, and Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
इंट्रोड्यूसिंग मुद्दा ऐप, इंडियाज सोशल इशू ऐप। अपनी खुद की कम्युनिटी बनाएं, आसानी से अपने ग्रुप का पता लगाएं जो आपके क्षेत्र के नाम पर है, और अपने मुद्दों, समस्याओं आदि को ग्रुप में डालना शुरू करें। अपने इलाके के अन्य उपयोगकर्ताओं के साथ जुड़ें। समय पर नियमित अपडेट। हम उपयोगकर्ताओं के अनुभव के महत्व को जानते हैं और हम इसके बारे में भी परवाह करते हैं। भविष्य के वर्जन में हर बार कुछ बेहतर मिलेगा। जैसे कि आप विकसित करते हैं, हम बढ़ते हैं। बड़े पैमाने पर आउटरीच। हमारे ऐप में 10 लाख से अधिक ग्रुप हैं और आप आसानी से अपनी समस्याओं को कहीं भी साझा कर सकते हैं। ट्रेंडिंग पोस्ट, सर्च हेल्प, क्विक मेन्यू और यूट्यूब वीडियोस, यह सब एक मंच में। ऐप खोले, अपने ग्रुप का चयन करें, उपयोगकर्ताओं के साथ जुड़े, अपनी समस्याओं और मुद्दों को पोस्ट करें। प्रयोग करने के लिए बेहद आसान और सब कुछ बस एक क्लिक दूर। ऐप हर डिवाइस, पीसी, लैपटॉप, टैबलेट, स्मार्टफोन पर उपलब्ध है। अभी मुद्दा ऐप डाउनलोड करें। प्ले स्टोर और ऐप स्टोर पर उपलब्ध।